This is how I record my videos using two GPUs. I'm using my RX 580 to run the games or whatever I am doing on my screen. I have integrated graphics. I keep disabling it and it keeps coming back up. I don't know why. It makes it to where OBS is very difficult to use, but I am using Streamlabs for anything other than desktop recording. For my recording in Streamlabs, I'm using my GeForce GT 710. It is a very low-end card from what feels like 10 years ago. It can almost play some games from 10 years ago. If I truly wanted to, I could play GTA with it. It will not be fun, and I would not be able to record at the same time. I don't know how, but I managed to get the RX 580 to play my games and the GT 710 to do nothing other than record. In terms of what settings I have for Streamlabs, I got what I believe is normal here. I got Force GPU as render device on. Well, that looks normal to me. For output, since I'm not really streaming, I've not touched this since the defaults. In terms of recording, though, I typically record in MKV. You can record in MP4. However, let's say your computer crashes or your power goes out. An MP4 file will most likely be corrupted. However, an MKV file saves it periodically, or it's kind of like a raw file. It's got a lot of protections into it to where it will save up until the issue appears. In terms of the encoding / recording, I am using the NVENC H.264 new. I've not been able to get anything else working for my GT 710. So if you got an older card, that might be exclusively what you were able to use. In terms of quality control or rate control, like the visual clarity of your video in terms of bitrate, I am using some form of constant bitrate or constant quality. So the bitrate's going to be fluctuating, but your quality is going to be staying very similar. I am using CQP. I'm afraid I don't know what that stands for. I know CBR is your default. That's going to be your constant bitrate. I would suggest using CQP, especially since you can tune it. Not in the sense of taking it to the mechanic to get a tune-up, but like you can adjust it to where you're using just about all of the card. Right now I'm using 92% of my GT 710 in terms of the encoding. If this is the only card you are using, I would not suggest recording at 60 FPS like I am. You very well could get away with 30 FPS, maybe if you're doing something cinematic, maybe 24 to match with the movies. I got my quality control or constant quality level down to 1. I got the preset on medium. I've not seen any difference between these presets. Obviously, P7 is going to be better quality, so more, higher clarity and everything. Got my tuning up to high quality. At least with the GT 710, I have not gotten anything other than single pass to work. It just won't start recording. If it's not already on, keep your profile on high. What the hell did I just click? I don't know what psycho visual tuning is, but that was on by default. In terms of GPU number, this I would suggest you experiment with, because even though this is GPU 0 it is told to use, GPU 0 in my computer is the Radeon 580, which it is not using. However, the only NVIDIA card I have in my computer would be 0 in terms of NVIDIA. I believe it is associated with the type of card you are using.